The confirmed number of new coronavirus cases reported in Los Angeles County in the last 24 hours is 1,032, with 10 additional deaths. Here in Torrance, 7 additional cases were reported with no new deaths. Welcome to COVID-19 Today. I'm Leslie Robbins. It's Monday, October 4th. The United States reached its latest grim milestone from the pandemic on Friday, more than 700,000 deaths from COVID-19. It took 3.5 months for the U.S. to go from 600 to 700,000 deaths, driven by the Delta variant's rapid spread among unvaccinated Americans. The transmission of the highly contagious strain is finally starting to show signs of slowing down. Overwhelmed hospitals are also starting to see some relief. The milestone is frustrating public health leaders and medical professionals because vaccines have been available to all eligible Americans for nearly 6 months. And despite the shot's ability to protect against hospitalizations and death, an estimated 70 million Americans have chosen to remain unvaccinated. Health experts say the fourth wave of the pandemic has peaked overall in the U.S., especially in the Deep South, where hospitals were stretched to their limits just weeks ago. Now the question remains about how this year's flu season will impact hospitals and their workers. That and cold weather driving people indoors as seasons change are leading administrators to brace themselves for another possible surge. LA County's COVID-19 transmission remains substantial, with its weekly case rate at 76 per 100,000 residents as of September 30th. Of the nearly 5.6 million fully vaccinated people in LA County, public health identified a little more than 55,000 people, or about 1% of those who still tested positive for COVID-19. Close to 1,900 of them were hospitalized, up from a little over 1,700 the week before. That's just a 0.03% increase. Deaths in this vaccinated group also rose slightly during the same time period, from 229 to 257, a 0.005% increase. Almost 72% of the nearly 10.3 million LA County residents have gotten at least one dose of a COVID-19 vaccine so far. 59% are fully vaccinated, and close to 106,000 boosters have been administered to date. Public health officials urge all eligible Angelenos to get the shot if they have not already. Meanwhile, LA County is seeing a continued decline in COVID-19 cases among residents and staff members at skilled nursing facilities. Cases dropped from 123 to 41 between the beginning of August to mid-September. 25 of the 41 cases were among residents and 16 were among staff members. 52% of new cases happen among those who were fully vaccinated. While these breakthrough cases did occur, data continues to show that fully vaccinated people remain very well protected from the worst outcomes of the coronavirus infection. Currently, 88% of residents and 91% of staff are fully vaccinated. Skilled nursing facilities must follow strict precautions, are required to verify the vaccine status of every worker, and conduct routine testing of all residents and staff. And as of last week, everyone working at such facilities are required to be fully vaccinated against COVID-19 unless they have an approved medical or religious exemption, in which case they would be tested twice a week. California became the first state to announce plans to require student vaccinations. Governor Gavin Newsom plans to add the COVID-19 vaccine to the list of vaccinations required to attend school in person, when the vaccine receives full approval from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration for middle and high school grades. He announced that the COVID-19 vaccine will be required for in-person school attendance, just like vaccines for measles, mumps, and more. California was also the first in the nation to require school masking and staff vaccinations. Governor Newsom says the newest measure is about protecting children and school staff, as well as keeping them in the classroom. The state's public health measures helped California to maintain the lowest case rate in the country. California is also one of only 2 states to have advanced out of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention's high COVID transmission category. The majority of school districts in the state have more than 95% of their students learning in person again. California is leading national trends in preventing school closures and keeping kids in classrooms, with only 14 out of more than 2,000 school closures nationwide. Starting this Thursday, October 7th, all outdoor mega events will require those 12 years and older to provide proof of full vaccination or a negative COVID-19 test. The LA County Health Officer order was modified last week to clarify the rules for outdoor mega events. Proof of a recent negative test will not be required for children 11 years and younger, and 12 to 17-year-olds will not need to present photo identification. Starting November 1st, attendees at the mega events who are 18 years and older will have to show photo IDs with their proof of vaccination or negative COVID-19 test results. This new order includes popular venues such as Six Flags Magic Mountain and Universal Studios. A woman who survived the 1918 flu has died from COVID-19. 105-year-old Primetta Giacopini passed away in September in Northern California. Her daughter, Doreen, believes she would have been around a lot longer if she did not get the coronavirus, saying her mother was a fighter. The 1918 flu killed about 675,000 Americans, including Primetta's 25-year-old mother when Primetta was only 2 years old. That death toll was eclipsed last month by the COVID-19 pandemic. Primetta spent a part of her life in Italy, marrying an Italian fighter pilot, and unfortunately became a young widow. She eventually made her way to the U.S., where she remarried and outlived her second husband. Primetta was vaccinated but developed a cough in early September. She went to the emergency room where she was diagnosed with COVID-19, then pneumonia. She died on September 16th. 2 Californians got caught submitting fake COVID-19 test results in Hawaii. Authorities arrested a 34-year-old man and a 33-year-old woman after they falsified negative test results into the Hawaii Safe Travels portal and arrived in Lihue on the island of Kauai. Police say the individuals flew to Hawaii from LA on an American Airlines flight last week. They submitted the fake test results to avoid a mandatory quarantine. Well, the 2 were released after their arrest pending an investigation and returned to LA. Travelers arriving in Hawaii must quarantine for 10 days unless they are fully vaccinated or test negative for COVID-19 before departing for the islands. Cleanup efforts continue around Huntington Beach to limit the environmental effects of a massive oil spill. The 126,000-gallon spill was first reported around 9 a.m. Saturday. It was caused by a leak from an underwater pipeline. The U.S. Coast Guard is leading the response of the spill, which covered about 5.8 nautical miles between the Huntington Beach Pier and Newport Beach. Officials believe the pipeline leak happened about 4.5 miles off the shore. The pipeline is operated by Beta Offshore. The 3 oil platforms it serves have been shut down, according to the operator's parent company, Amplify Energy. President and CEO Martin Wilshire said on Sunday that divers were still trying to determine exactly where the leak occurred, but confirmed no more oil was leaking. Close to 3,200 gallons of oil has been recovered from the water so far, and more than 5,300 feet of boom has been deployed to control the spread of the remaining oil. Orange County health officials warn residents and visitors not to swim, surf, or exercise by the beach because of potential health hazards. Marine experts say the effect on wildlife could be devastating and may take weeks or even months until they know the full extent of the damage to wild animals. Well, the biggest lottery prize in months just got even bigger. The Powerball drawing is tonight, and a very lucky winner could become $685 million richer if they have all the right numbers. Good luck. The prize money grew after no ticket matched all 5 numbers and the Powerball on Saturday night's drawing. The Powerball jackpot has climbed over 40 straight weeks without a grand prize winner. There has not been a bigger Powerball jackpot since January. Saturday's grand prize of $635 million would have been the 10th largest U.S. lottery jackpot ever won. Now it will be the 8th largest ever. Since August 23rd, Powerball drawings have been held 3 times a week to increase interest and grow prizes more quickly. Drawings are held each Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday at 7:59 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If there is a winner tonight, they can either choose to be paid over 29 years or take the cash option, which is estimated at $485.5 million before taxes. Powerball is played in 45 states plus Washington, D.C., Puerto Rico, and the U.S. Virgin Islands. The American Heart Association's Heart and Stroke Walk is coming to Torrance. After going completely virtual last year due to the pandemic, participants will have the option to begin their walk at one of several pop-up starting lines, including one in Torrance at Columbia Park. It takes place Saturday, October 9th from 9 a.m. to 12 noon. The walk is a fun and meaningful way to celebrate heart disease and stroke survivors, raise life-saving funds, and encourage physical activity. This year's theme is Heart Walk Here and is meant to encourage anyone to just start walking at any location that inspires their heart health. The walk supports people like Chandler, who was born 3 years ago with a heart defect. The soon-to-be 4-year-old has already had 2 open heart surgeries and is scheduled for another one around the time of the upcoming walk. Her mother, Danielle Armstead, says the work of the American Heart Association will be instrumental in the future of her child and others dealing with heart disease and stroke. To learn more and to sign up, log on to southlandheartwalk.org. Well, before we go at the end of each program, we'd like to share feel-good stories from our community. Pictures, images, and videos that remind us of how resilient our community is and how Torrance truly cares. The First Lutheran Church and School celebrated its 13th annual Blessing God's Creatures Outreach Festival over the weekend, an opportunity to say thank you to the pets that have played crucial roles, especially during the pandemic.
For example, in many cases, we have had our dogs, our cats, our other creatures that are in our homes who have loved us and tended to us and been the voice that we have heard, or have been the shoulder on which we've cried. I think we've all learned some things about the depth of the relationship that we have with these creatures.
Animal lovers across the South Bay gathered to celebrate their pets and receive special blessings from the church's pastoral team. Pet owners got an opportunity to connect with each other and support local businesses that came out as well. And community members also came together to collect donations for the local Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, or SPCA. In the past, animals blessed have included baby goats, hamsters, lizards, llamas, and turtles, as well as cats and dogs. This celebration takes place in the beginning of October every year to coincide with the commemoration of Francis of Assisi, who was known for his love of animals. Organizers say this is an important way for them to seek out advocacy partners to team up and care for animals together and help promote pet adoptions. What a creative way to show how Torrance cares. Now, if you have a great story, upcoming event, a photo, or video you would like to share, email us at covid19today@torranceca.gov. We would love to hear from you. Well, that is our update for COVID-19 today. We will see you back here tomorrow as Colin Kushner brings you the latest. Please be safe, stay healthy, and thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.